What's up, guys? My name is Khan, and we're back today with more Railroads Online, and today we are going to do the longest route we've ever attempted in this game. It's kind of awesome. I've got 13 plank cars here loaded up to the Heisler, and we are going to do a route from the freight depot up to the sawmill, then over to the smelter, and then down all the way to the coal mine. And we're going to try and pick up the 26 rail beams that we've got at the, I think they're called rails, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, there's either iron beams or rails, but we got 26 of them at the smelter from last episode, so we're gonna pick up those. I believe they're 10 per car, so we'll fill 3 cars with them, and then we're also gonna grab 26 wooden beams to match, which is what the other 10 cars are going to be for. So we've got 13 cars here, brakes are all off, we're good to go. I've already got this thing all fueled up, and I think we're pretty much set. We can throw a little bit more wood on the fire, but we are good to go. Let's get out of here. It's gonna be a long trip today. So ideally in the future, I'd like to run 30 and 30, 13 cars, 3 of which are taken up by the rails and 10 of which are taken up by the wooden beams. Unless of course I've got the numbers wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was 10 rails per car before. And this is just kind of a nice train, 13 cars long. It's a nice, reasonable train to deal with. And of course, the Heisler shouldn't have any problem pulling it up and down the hills that we've got on the way to the coal mine and the smelter. So I'm really excited to actually do this route and see how much money we make, number one, because we do need to make a little bit more money. We're down to, I don't know how much we're down to, $3,700. I had to buy 2 more cars. We only had 11, so I did have to buy a couple more. But we should be good to go. So we're just gonna slowly cruise our way there. The Heisler, of course, isn't exactly the fastest engine, but it's got torque for days. So it shouldn't have any issues pulling the load. I wanna load up the back 10 cars with the beams, and exactly 26 beams, which should be a full 9 car. Actually, we have 1 extra car here, don't we? We have 13 cars. We only needed 12. Yeah, because 9 cars of beams is 27, and we only need 26. So we're actually gonna be like 8 full cars of beams, 1 car with 2 beams on it, and then I guess we'll just have an empty car at the very end. We could bring up extra beams to the coal mine. I just like to keep the numbers even because it produces with like a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio. 1 of each product makes 1 of the final product. And that seems to be consistent for pretty much every industry. So I just always like to keep the numbers even. At the logging camp and the sawmill, I really don't care. I mean, the sawmill's so close to the logs, we just deliver all sorts of stuff there. But at the further industries like the smelter and the coal mine and the iron mine and that sort of thing, it makes more sense to keep even numbers. So when you're transporting goods up there, you don't fill up one storage and then waste your money, because if the storage is full, you don't get paid for the goods, which is unfortunate. We also have to do deliveries to the iron mine to get more iron, and that is a 12-car delivery. It's 4 cars of planks and 8 cars of beams, and that gives you even 24 and 24. We could do it actually with pretty much any number as long as it's 1 to 2. So we could do 5 cars of planks and 10 cars of beams because it's just that 1 to 2 ratio. So we could actually make this train longer, but if we're doing a run to the iron mine, we're gonna have the same thing where 1 car is empty, we only need 12. But runs to the coal mine, we need 13. So we'll probably honestly have to put a shunt yard up here at the lumber mill at some point here, the sawmill, because we do need to start storing some cars up here, and we need to have some extra routes for multiplayer. All right, we're gonna go left first. We're gonna load up the thing with beams, and then we're just gonna back out onto the main line and go forward. Once again, still need that Y section. Should probably prioritize doing that at some point. But there we go, perfect. And I need to re-engineer this turn. It's so steep. It's where we derailed last time when Dapper and I were trying to load up a super long train. Luckily, this time it's only 13 cars, so it's like half of what we were doing before. Should be pretty easy to manage. And of course, the Heisler is just, it's a monster. I love this engine. It's slow, which sucks because it's got the gearing, but it's just got so much raw power. It doesn't matter. The only thing you gotta watch out for is not accidentally pulling the trains off the track. We're gonna load up the last, I guess the middle 9 cars or something. We're gonna leave the first 3 empty for the metal. I don't know how much that matters. I also don't know what the weight is on these cars, but I was always told that like you want the heavier loads at the front of the train and the lighter loads towards the back. Because if you have too much weight at the back and not enough weight at the front, then it'll just like pull the middle of the train off the track. Again, I don't know how like true any of that is, to be honest. I'm not like a train loading expert. And to be honest, I don't even know what the weights of these loads are. Like, I don't know if beams are heavier than iron or not, but either way, we'll put the iron up front. It'll be 10, 10, and 6, and then we'll do just a bunch of cars of beams until we get to 26 beams as well. All right, we've got all the beam cars loaded, except for this last one here. We got to just load 2 more beams onto it. We've got 8 cars fully loaded with beams, which is 24. Add in another 2 on this last one, and this should be 26. And then we're just going to back our way out past that switch at the start and go back down the smelter track. I think the rest of the switches should be good to get to the smelter, because that's where we came from last time with the Cook Mogul. And we should hopefully be able to go and load up all the rails. All right, let's go reverse very slowly. This is really, really sketchy with the Heisler. It's got so much power. Okay, well, let's give it a little bit to... Come on, get going. All right, yeah, you don't want to accidentally push too hard. Although pushing, I guess, is a little bit better than pulling. When I was pulling here to try and, like, inch forward, some of these cars in the middle, they looked really, really sketchy, like they were going to fall off. But I think once this becomes straight and becomes a Y going across, it'll be a lot better. Because then we can just, you know, pull straight through, and we don't have to worry about having this really, really steep turn here. But, yeah, the Heisler, once it's going, we're fine. It's a very finicky engine. You can't go too fast. But we're actually able to go at 100% reg, which is kind of cool. Doesn't seem to cause that wheel slip issue anymore, which is nice. This looks way too sharp. I feel like this path here needs to be just a gradual, like, slope this way. There's a little bit of a hill here, but we could come up the edge of this hill and then loop to the right, make it switch off a lot earlier, maybe even where that bridge is. And I feel like that would make this a lot more friendly for trains, especially longer ones. Can't really do much on the other side, of course, because there is a mountain right there. But, you know, we can at least make this a little bit more gradual, because this is a heck of a corner here. That looks so steep every time. All right, now we're on our way down to the smelter. So as long as we just go nice and smooth, don't derail, we should make it to the smelter, no problem. And then we're gonna have a super long trip to the coal mine, which I'm actually really excited about. I can't wait to see a full-size train going through that valley. Because up to this point, we've literally only run that engine, like the Cook Mogul through the valley, and that's it. I'm really excited to see the loaded cars going around all the corners and over all the little bridges and stuff. I think it's gonna be super cool. In the last video, I said, you know, it would be nice to have the tender brakes on the Cook Mogul. Someone was saying it's just more efficient to just leave the air brakes on a little bit and, you know, call it a day. I guess the air brakes are way more powerful, but tender brakes don't use any, you know, power, no steam pressure, which regular brakes, you know, you have to keep the compressor going to keep the brake pressure up. Either way, we're just going to let this coast until it looks kind of dangerous. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time I look back, I always, like, miscount the number of cars. I thought we only had 7 there. We got 8. We're good, plus the 2 at the end. That's perfect. All right, let's just give this a little bit of break. 20%, 30%-ish. Seems good. I love gear trains. They look so cool. It's always super cool to look at all the mechanisms underneath. It's kind of crazy to me, though, that it only uses, like, 2 pistons. I guess a regular steam train only uses 2 pistons, too, 1 on either side. Or there's some that I guess have 4 pistons. Not in this game yet, but there are some steam trains. I had a buddy of mine send me some photos where they got, like, 2 stages of pistons, like a high pressure and a low pressure. So the gas from one piston feeds into the next one, which is kind of cool. I guess it gives you more power or it's more efficient or something, but it's just interesting. It's always 2 cylinders, because, you know, 2 cylinders, it has a lot of, like, I guess, dead spots, you know, spots where it'd be hard for, although it is a big V. It's just weird. I guess it's probably easier back in the day to make, you know, steam engines with less parts, right? So 2 cylinders would be a lot less parts than 4, and you probably don't get as much efficiency out of 4, and you'd still have to distribute the steam before all 4. I don't know what the math on that is. I would be curious to look up. I wonder how efficient, like, a 4-cylinder steam engine really was compared to a 2-cylinder one. But all the gear trains in this, the Climax as well, is just a 2-cylinder gear train, 1 on either side, or 2 piston. I don't know what, I guess it would be pistons, cylinders, same thing. In this case, I'm gonna slow down a little bit more. Shouldn't matter which side the switch is set at the smelter. Should be able to just pull in regardless. I think we're going to go straight towards the iron, to be honest, because last time I came out of here, that's the way I came. Just Trying to make sure all the cars stay intact around the corner. We're good. All right, let's just let off the brake a little bit. 13%. I don't know, 10, 13, whatever. It's hard to get that exact. Nice and slow through the final turn. Had a few derailments at the bottom of this corner. But I think we are good to go. Perfect. All right, let's turn the brake off. And we'll just coast right into the station. I really hope this is 10 per car. I hope I didn't screw up and think of, I don't know, I really should probably write this all down. I know there's places I could look it up, but I really should just look it up or write it down before I start driving trains places. But whatever. We're going to assume it's 10 per car. I mean, actually, it doesn't even matter. We got another car at the very end. So even if it's less than 10 per car, we should be able to fit it. Like if it's only 8 per car or something. We should still have room for it. But let's see here. Let's start loading these up. I think it's 10 per car. I'm pretty sure it does 2 stacks of 5, like on either ends. And the beams are only 3 per car, which is what makes it really difficult, the iron beams. But the rails, I think, are... I mean, we'll be able to tell as soon as we see what 1 stack is, because it's definitely 2 stacks. All right, 1 stack is definitely... Okay, perfect, 5. So it is 10 per car. Excellent. That's good. So 13 cars is the perfect train for this. It'd be 30 and 30. You deliver it all in one train. The Heisler, probably the Climax even could do it too. And that's just a good run if you got 30 iron. To be honest, I feel like the hardest thing in this game is getting coal and iron, because it's just a really difficult resource to get with the amount of stuff. Like this is going to be a train of 26 coal if we were to like think of it in terms of value. Like this is going to generate 26 coal, and we have 4 coal / iron carrying cars, and 26 coal would barely fill half them. We could do up to 40 with those 4 cars. So if we want to do like a full, 10 car coal train or 10 car iron train, we're gonna have to do a lot of supplying to the iron mine and coal mine, which I'm totally okay with. But I think that's what we're gonna have to end up doing, is really like getting a bunch of supply runs set up, mainly to the iron mine first, so then we can run some big iron trains down here. Like I'd love to do a 10 car iron train. That would be sick. Supply this with 100 iron right off the bat. That would fill the rails and the beams, right? Yeah, and the raw iron, which we have 40 of. We might have to actually come back and sell some of this, or we actually, you know what? We have to connect this up to the ironworks, because I think the raw iron feeds the ironworks. And then with the coal, raw iron plus coal is going to be gravy. But either way, it's still a lot of stuff that we got to deliver. We might actually cap out the raw iron. We'll probably just have to sell some to the freight depot to make some space. Okay, I think that's a good spot for this. I don't want to screw this up. We only have 1 chance at these beams. Any rail that we miss is wasted product. I think that's good enough, though. Perfect. All right, we'll load up the last 6, and then we'll get out of here. But yeah, I think we might do a trip just selling raw iron to the freight depot. Just because we don't have the ironworks hooked up yet. And even if we do, we need a lot of coal. And we're going to need a lot more iron anyway to get a lot more coal. And in getting that extra iron, like the coal only uses the rails. So, we're still going to end up with like a surplus of raw iron that we're just going to need to get rid of. And I think we'll probably just sell it for some cash. I don't know how much it sells for, but I feel like it's enough. I mean, there's 40 there. I think it's 3 per car, and I'm pretty sure it goes on these cars as well. So this would be just, a huge train of raw iron. Like what, 40 raw iron in one thing? 39 raw iron with 13 cars. That's pretty good. And even if it sells for only like, I think like 10 or 15 or something, that's not a lot of money. Man, inflation, when it kicks in, is going to hit this game hard. All right, the last of the rails. Perfect. That's it. That's all we got. All right, we're 26. Let's head out to the smelter for the longest train ride we've ever done. 20%. We're just going to try and keep it at that. Nice gradual 20% the whole way, maybe 30%. We're going to have to flick some switches up at the Y, and then we're going to have to flick another switch at the top of the first hill. So we're going to have to do some switching. But then once we get to the coal mine, like once we're past those switches, we should be good to go all the way to the coal mine. And we'll be able to just set it and kind of sit back and relax and watch the trip. All right, heading on out. You can see there's one section of track right there on that turn where the cars kind of straighten out a bit. I think it needs to be fixed. Pretty sure that's where the Eureka derailed last time we were here. It's just kind of like a section where it kinks just a little bit. We do have to do track maintenance at some point, though. I really need to just take a train, ride all the rails and look for spots that feel weird and just kind of patch them a little bit. It's not too bad, but it is definitely a spot where I think if we had more speed, it would just kink and knock us off. But we're good here. Okay, that switch is set. So we're actually good. We can hop back on. I hope that switch is set. Sometimes I look at a switch, think it's set, and then it's not. And I don't know, my brain just gets confused. I'm like, oh, it's set in the right direction, and then I derail the whole train. We're good, though. That's perfect. Yeah. Excellent. This would be a bad spot to derail, too. Rip Gutless. I need to put a sign here that says rest in peace Gutless at some point when signs get added to the game. Just, you know, it will forever be the Gutless Bridge, I guess is what we can call that. The bridge of the failed Eureka. We are just cruising. I'm gonna pull the reg down just a little bit so we don't accidentally pull too much. I'm always worried with the Heisler, we're just gonna pull the cars right off the track. I think we're okay though. And then we do have to run ahead here. You gonna make it? This is the steeper section. Okay. Iron might be really heavy. I think iron is very heavy. Bro, what? You're gonna make it, right? I think it's gonna make it. Holy cow, iron might be the heaviest, like, thing in the... Oh, it might not make it. Hold on. 100%. There we go. 100% reg on the Heisler. I think we can actually turn the sand... Oh, no, we can't turn the sander off. That was bad. That was bad. Holy cow. So we can do 100% with the sander, but as soon as you turn the sander off, it gets, like, wheel slip, which just gets completely freaked out. Oh, man. Iron, it must be insanely heavy. That's the only thing I can think of, because this is not a lot of beams, or 13 cars. Maybe it's too many beams. We were able to get the Heisler to start, though, on a 3% incline with, like, 20 cars behind it of wood. So it must just be the iron cars that are super, super heavy. Either way, this does go up to, like, 4 or 5% here. It's kind of bad, so we do need an alternate route. But kind of nuts that even the Heisler bogged down there. All right, let's set this switch, and then let's enjoy a nice scenic ride through the valley, which is all 3% or less, so it shouldn't be any issues for this train. This one route has really taught me that anything above 3% in this game is really, really tough on trains. Even 3% is tough on trains, but it's manageable. Oh well, alternate route at some point. We'll go straight down to the smelter, dodge all this. We'll be able to come straight from the smelter all the way to the coal mine. It'll be wonderful. Eventually, we'll get there. I just finished this route. I don't feel like building another super huge route just quite yet. I want to make some more money first and build the train empire. All right, we're moving. Perfect. That was only slightly scary. All right, since we're moving, I'm just gonna kind of chill and relax and not say too much, just turn on some of that sweet Railroads Online soundtrack and just sort of let the Heisler do its thing, drive through the valley. Not gonna time-lapse it because I want to listen to the nice clickety-clack of the engine, but just sort of enjoy the view, enjoy the run. It's nice to do that in this game. It's sort of very stressful to build track, but once your track's built, you just get to sit back and relax, and it's just a wonderful time driving some trains. We got enough fuel. You know what, let's put a little bit more fuel in while we're going. There we go. We were only down to like 20%. Now 86. Perfect. Awesome. Let's just sit back, relax, and enjoy. You know, it's nice to get to the back of the train sometimes. I turned up the game volume so we can hear it, but look at, you can just listen to the nice clickety-clack of trains, that sound you get, you know, when you're in like a passenger train. Oh, it's wonderful. I love that noise. So glad they have that in the game where the rails, like, you know, make that sound of empty cars. If we get up to the front, it's gonna be really loud. I cranked the volume up to max. Normally I don't have it that high. So the engine will get louder and louder, but yeah, it's already really loud. Oh my God, it's so loud. Hello. Hello, that's so, I'm gonna turn the volume back down, but in the meantime, let's go listen to more clickety-clack. I love it, it's so great. It's such like a peaceful thing. It's just like a Zen experience, you know? Sitting at the back of a train, then you carry you up a mountain, up a little riverside valley. Hopefully we don't derail. Perfect. Why does it feel like we're slowing down? Okay, we got boiler pressure, just not enough reg? Alright, let's go up to 50% then. I think iron is really heavy. I'm pretty sure iron is heavy. I haven't had this many struggles with the Heisler ever when it comes to like dealing with wood. I feel like there's an actual weight to iron. I'm sure there's a place I could look it up. But iron must have like a substantial weight because this is only 8 cars of wood, 8.5 cars of wood, 9 cars, I guess, if you want to call it that. And the Heisler's pulled like 20 cars up of 3%, no problem, but it's struggling up this 3% with only, you know, 3 iron cars. I feel like iron's got to be just super, super heavy. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't know. Maybe the raw iron is super heavy too. I'm not sure. To be honest, I haven't really run many iron products. I think I've done like 1 trip back to the freight depot, and it was with the Heisler, and it probably was only a couple cars of iron. It wasn't a lot. It's interesting though. Wasn't expecting it to bog as much. All right, we're almost at the base of the coal valley now. I'm pretty sure, yeah, look at, we're right at the end. It's amazing. It's such a wonderful route. I really do like it. I'm not trying to like toot my own horn or anything. I mean, it's all on the devs for just having a wonderful map design, but it's so cool once you've got these routes set up, and I really, really like the path going up this valley. I know it takes a long time, and you could probably just, you know, go straight over the mountain range or something and make it a lot quicker, but it's just beautiful. It's such a wonderful experience to just ride a train all the way up this valley. We are picking up speed. I think it'll be fine. We're gonna lose speed as soon as we get to the hill anyway. There we go. There's our destination. Way up there. At the top of that ridge. Perfect. We'll be there in no time. Alright, we're starting the climb. Now it's pretty much like 3% most of the way, all the way to the top. There are some sharp turns coming up. You know what? Do we bother? I think we just risk it. I'm just gonna sit at the back. It's at 50% reg. There are some turns that are at 30 degrees where a bunch of people commented and said 30 degrees lull. Like, basically that's the dumbest idea I could possibly do, but I don't know what to do. I was gonna drive off the mountain if I didn't make a 30-degree turn. So, I mean, I could build a bridge, I guess, that's shallower than 30 degrees. So there are some 30-degree turns. The Heisler won't derail itself. I'm just worried we'll, of course, pull the cars off. But I think if we just maintain the reg, leave it's at a constant 50%, I think it'll be fine. Just let it run. I'm gonna get a little close to the front in case this derails. Oh God, it's going pretty quick now. That's good. All right, let's get up here. And we're gonna just drive this thing. I mean, we won't really drive it, we'll just kind of leave it, but wonderful. 50% reg. You could probably even cut this back a little bit. We are moving. I need to cut back more trees here too. I really want to open this up, make it a little bit more visible. This is cool though. Really, really cool. I really like these kind of routes in this game. The ones that make you take a crazy detour just to go up a little bit of elevation. I feel like that it's just got this thing that screams real life to me, you know? Like real life railroads, you see that follow the mountains and try and hug every contour, and they're built on these like impossible cliffs and stuff, and that's sort of what I get with this kind of track. Same kind of vibes. All right, here's the first impossible corner. This one's only like 25 though, which is still really, really bad, but you know, not too bad. Should be fine. Nice constant speed. Perfect. I think we still got all our cars. We'll be able to check on this straight. Wonderful. Excellent. All right, the next big corner's up there. That one's again another like 25, and then there's like a 25 here, and then there's a 30 way over there, which I think is the real doozy of a corner right before the end. But we should be okay. Actually, I think this one's even shallower than 25, to be honest. I also tried to ease them in, like they come in at like a 10-degree turn first, and then they go steeper, and then they go shallower. I mean, I know that doesn't really help too much for what it's worth, but I feel like it might help a little bit. All right, there's the back of our train, perfect. Excellent. I think we're good, and there's enough of a straight section between these two corners. We're not like hugely making an S with our trade. Yeah, this one's sharp for sure. That's so cool. It looks so sketchy to me, like having this load right on the edge of the cliff, but I love it. It's great. Then over the curved wooden bridge. And then the last death corner coming up. Not this one, the one right after. And then we'll be home free to the coal mine. Get some coal products. I'm super excited. I'm actually going to check the money before and after. I think it was 3,700, right? That's the wrong one. 3,744. So I want to see exactly how much money we get for this 26 coal train, 26 coal equivalent. All right, this is the 30-degree turn. If we don't derail here, we're fine. It is right after an S-bend too, but I think we're okay. It's all about just keeping a constant speed. As long as you don't accelerate, you're fine. Or decelerate, I guess. Perfect. All right, we're good. Which side are we coming in? We're going right. Okay, that's fine. We can go around. Actually, no. No. I wanna hold on. Oh god. That was a sharp break. Okay, we're good. I want to go in straight this way because I feel like it's gonna be easier to unload. We got rails in front, beams in behind, which is sort of how it's loaded. This is a pretty gradual turn here. I tried to keep this as smooth as possible for exactly this reason, because the unload zone is really, really close to, well, the unload and loading zone is pretty close to where it starts going downhill. So I just wanted to make sure we got tons of room in behind here with the loop. Like the loop's all flat ground and stuff, but we just got to be careful on the unload spot because we are technically getting pulled back down this hill. Pretty much up until this switch, it's downhill. It's very gradual. It's only like 1%, but it is still downhill. So we're just going to slow up a little bit here. I obviously don't want to misclick the beams. That would suck, or the rails, I mean. That'd be a really, really unfortunate load to lose. Just going to unload this first car of beams. All right, excellent. That worked. All right, rails number 1. It's just slowly gliding a little bit, but I think that's okay. Rails 2. Perfect. And we can store more than 20 rails, right? Yeah, we can store 50 rails. Okay, so we can actually unload all 3 of these. It's literally just sliding forward on its own momentum, which is kind of cool. All right, unload that one. Oh, shoot. We're missing the beams. Got to back up. All right, we got all the rails, though. That's the good part. That's the vital part. Interestingly enough, if you look, these station platforms... Oh, that one go? That one went, right? Yeah, these station platforms aren't lined up. Like, the beams one is slightly further back than the iron one. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. I put a completely straight track, so I just tried to put it really close to the iron. which obviously it seems like it's got enough range to unload the beams anyway. But I just thought that was really weird when I first came up here and built this track. It's like, it's just off by like a foot. But for some reason they got it, you know, 1 foot off from the other one. So I don't really know what the deal is with that, if you're supposed to build like a shunt line. But then the coal line, like where you load up the coal, is right in the middle there as well. You know, like we're loading coal on this same line that we're unloading stuff on. So I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's just like a misclicked spot, or there's some intentional reason. That's not going to get in time. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. All right, perfect. Just trying to do the old live unload. Hello? Okay, I guess we're just missing that one. Yeah, no, oh. Okay, well, we're... Okay, perfect. All right, just got the last 2 at the end. And then we should be good to go. We got 7 rails left. I hope this is right. I think it's 1-to-1, should be. All right, 2 beams left. And we should have 2 rails left. Excellent, which means we're going to have 26 coal. Wonderful, 1-to-1-to-1. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Obviously, we need more coal. We're gonna need to get the ironworks hooked up. I'm not gonna sell any coal just yet because obviously we wanna deliver it to where it's needed to make better products. I might go get rid of all that raw iron at the smelter and save up some money. We actually got up to $4,500, so it's like a $700 run, $800 run. So that's not bad, actually. That's pretty good. 800 bucks for, you know, 13 cars and not even completely fully loaded. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think another iron run needs to be done. Well, we need to get more iron, so we need to do some runs up there. I also gotta buy some more locos that can do that run and more cars that can do that run. We need another 12 cars and a couple more Heislers so I can let Cosmo and Dapper help me supply the iron mine and, you know, get it supplied relatively quickly. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure, of course, you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time. I'm getting out of here. Full steam ahead.